Hello, my student. Let's continue with our lesson. And the topic for today's lesson is going to be a survey of how Yoruba language was reduced to writing through the contributions of foreigners, especially the missionaries. You will bear with me that the contribution of the missionaries has gone a long way in the teaching and learning of Yoruba language. The study of Yoruba language actually started in Sierra Leone on the 29th August 1831 at a girls' school in Charlotte village of Sierra Leone. I want to believe that if you go to Sierra Leone, you can take time to find out where Charlotte village is. That is exactly where the teaching and learning of Yoruba started in 29th August 1831. And the study was pioneered by a lady called Hannah Kilham. Between 1823 and 1831, and 1831, Hannah Kilman and Horclopatin and John Reban also evolved a system of how to put Yoruba language in a written form. This is the beginning of Yoruba Orthography. That is, the fundamental guidelines on how to read and write Yoruba language correctly. Let's try to see what Hannah Kilman recognized as vowels in Yoruba language. They are A, E, I, O, U. But for the fact that Hannah Kilham is an English-speaking lady, in pronouncing these vowels, he added some other things to them, particularly A. H was added to it. To E, I was added to it. E was doubled into E, while U, he added O to it, probably because of the pronunciation in forms of language differences. She also recommended double consonants, as in the following examples. In writing words down, particularly eni, which is one, she wrote e, ni, I. And in writing two, she wrote e, d, g, I to mean a G. And three, eta, she wrote a, t, a, eta. That is double consonant. And son, she wrote orang, that is o, ni, ri, u, ni, ji, which could be spelled orang or pronounced orang. You can see that in the writing of some of these words, she has written consonants together in some aspects, which is very wrong in Yoruba language. It will be important to know that Hannah Kilham, Horclopatin, and John Reban used the knowledge of their language to put together some Yoruba vocabularies. There is no way their language will not be reflected in Yoruba vocabularies. In 1859, Henry Townsend published the first newspaper in Nigeria called Iwe Iroyin in Abeokuta. The newspaper was published in Yoruba language. It appears fortnightly, and the center story in the paper is religion, politics, and economic information, which was likely to interest the public that time. Not only that, also Henry Vane, the CMS General Secretary within 1841 and 1872, instructed Golma and other pioneers of Yoruba mission to collect authentic information about the tribes and countries, particularly where Yoruba language is spoken, so that they can make familiar with the language and reduce it to reading and writing. Within 1840 and 1870, witnessed a period of orthographical conflicts, different writers, for instance, and a conference was therefore held at Faji Mission House at Lagos to resolve some areas of divergence in Yoruba orthography. And Yoruba was put down and many corrections were made. And within that period to this time, a lot of conferences has been made in order to correct so many errors in the Yoruba orthography. Now, that time, the issues in dispute are 10 in numbers, but I'm going to discuss just few of them with you now. One, this first one was P. And the argument was that, shall we put P to represent P, which is written Ki and P together? Not only that, the second thing was that, is it desirable in certain words where O is now used instead of U in its place, especially in the word Ninu? They said, could it be Nino? And from there, you will see that a sort of dialect is being introduced into the system. Because even in the Bible, we can see areas where they write Ọkùnrin as Ọkùnrin. This must be the simple fact that Bishop Ajayi Crowther's dialect is being reflected in some of the grammar that is being written down in those days. Not only that, it was an argument that should Ni be produced or should it be reproduced before W in some words as Won and Nyi, wherein we'll have Ni, Wi, O, Ni, and Ni, Yi, I, Ni. And you will bear with me that to write two consonants together is very wrong. All these aspects has been corrected today. While some other schools of thought feel that letters of the alphabet should be produced in the following way: A, B, D, A, E, F, G, B, I, G, K. From these letters or this alphabet, you will see that some other things are added to the alphabet. Take for example, B. I was added to it, probably because of the pronunciation. So also D. I was also added to it. Let's look at F. I was equally added to it. So also G and B and He. G. E was added to E. So also Ki. E was equally added to it. These are the wrong way of writing the alphabet in those days. All these resolutions and more others were then published in August 1875 in Lagos. And this became the norm for writing Yoruba. But modern linguistics studies have corrected the irregularities and the inconsistent characterized in these orthographical problems, and the need for total revision became very much imperative. Thank you very much.